Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we're going to talk about 6 products here that you can use to color your laser engraving projects here. So I've got 2 examples, and we're going to go over these examples of 2 of these products, and then we're going to talk about the rest of the products of use case scenarios, when you'll use them, and tips and tricks about them as well. I think a lot of people are interested in this. I get these questions pretty often about what I use to color my projects. And these primarily are my 6 most common go-to coloring options here. So first up, let's start with this Golden Gate Bridge project here. This is regular stain that you get from the hardware. You can shake this up. You just use like a foam brush. You can stain your wood before laser engraving if you want to. That way it's pre-stained. It'll come out as color as you engrave and cut it out. That's super handy. You got to make sure that you let this completely dry before you laser engrave on it. I mean, you can always stain afterwards too if you want to cut out your product and then stain after in specific areas, like if it's more intricate design. But since I knew this was going to be all red, I went ahead and pre-stained that, cut it out. And then this down here was this like golden brown color here. So that turned out great. So that's your typical stain. I think you guys all know that you can do that with wooden products there. Now, a lot of people don't know that if you use like raw wood, for example, like this comic book cover, this is actually color pencil. A lot of people wouldn't even believe that that was color pencil, but that's actually color pencil. So as you can see, I made a little stand here for my color pencils. And you can use color pencils, and my tips and tricks for this is use multiple shadings. So for example, like down here in the blue suit here, some of it's a lighter blue, some of it's a darker blue. You can do lighter strokes as well, and if you need to get around in different like shadowing, if you want to say. So if you need like shadowing around like different sections of the arm, you can apply more pressure. Color pencils give you a lot of accuracy on your colors. It just takes a very long time, obviously, because you have a very fine point versus like a bigger width, like these acrylic marker pens. So another thing that you could do is either like Sharpies, for example, that's colored. You can do the same thing where you apply pressure and then you can get like darker, or you can go over and shading with these, but they're not going to be as accurate as like color pencils are. You can do the same thing with like these acrylic pen markers here. So acrylic pen markers, the thing that I don't like about them is after you let them sit for a while, they kind of settle, and then you got to reshake them up so they are nice and smooth again. They take a while to come out, but they give a nice pop of color. So if you're looking for really vibrant colors, these acrylic pens work really well for that. But they do settle over time whenever you don't use them, but it's not really a big deal. You just have to like shake them up very well. So just shake that up vigorously until it's got a nice consistent color again. I would recommend kind of dabbing it on like a paper towel at first to make sure the paint comes out smoothly if you're gonna paint with those. The next up, you have regular paint here. So you have like these little Tesser paint, like modeling paint kits. You can shake these up and then just use it like a regular paintbrush here. And this can be pretty accurate and get that nice acrylic paint color too as well. This way you're actually brushing it on versus using the tip of a marker. So you can do that as well with like regular colors. And then if you want to get really fancy, you can get these little alcoholic inks here. So these alcoholic inks, what you can do is you can actually shake these up and then insert it into like acrylic. So you can get the edges of acrylic to highlight a different color. I've been kind of experimenting with it. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It's kind of hard to get these to work, but if you want to branch out a little bit and experiment with this, you can do that. I'm not sure if this would work on like different types of leathers or not, but these are kind of like, I don't know if you remember those old color dye drops that you drop into like milk or water, and it'd be like food coloring essentially is what this is. So that is just a unique thing that you can do. So if you want to try and get like a nice rosy red acrylic, you can add that to like clear acrylic. I've done that before in the past. It does take some experimenting to do. I would recommend using like a Q-tip and then kind of go around the edges and see what works for you, and then just add more and more as needed. But those are my tips and tricks and different products here that I recommend for using to color your laser engraving projects. If you guys have interest in any of these, I'll put some links down in the description below. Also, if you're interested in any of these holders that I made for them, they're all on my Etsy shop as well. So check those out. If you guys had any interest or you have questions, let me know down in the comments below, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.